Okay, so for our senior project, we decided to make a mobile game for iPhone, Android, and also for the web. I'm Matt.
I'm Joe Schwassi.
So we use many different technologies to develop our game. We use Phaser, Cocoon.js, the Facebook API, and then Amazon AWS to incorporate all those technologies together. So the first thing with Phaser and Cocoon, Phaser is an HTML5 mobile design game framework. It's based with JavaScript, HTML5, and then CSS, and all of those come together nicely. Games can also be played on the web, so that's how we developed it. Developed it through a web browser, and just play it there, and then you use Cocoon.js to put on your phone. And then Cocoon.js, what you do is you upload a zip file, and they send you APK for Android or an Xcode project for Apple. And what you do is then you can load up those two files and put on your phone, and you have a native version of the app. And what we had to use to debug it was we had to create a custom launcher just for our app. So then Cocoon helps you go through that with creating all the parameters you need. And then one thing with me was we use Amazon AWS. I'm not sure if you've heard of that. It's Amazon's cloud storage. They give you a free 12-month trial or a free version, so that's what we use for this. It's a server and database in the cloud, and the size of that could be as big or as small as you need. So if let's say you have a database which is 2 gigs, and let's say you need up to 5 next week, it's elastic. You can just go into your account, change the size, and then it will be bigger. And the same thing with bandwidth and for your server. So we decided to use an Amazon Linux server. Amazon kind of came up with their own flavor of Linux. I think it's something based off Ubuntu. And then that allows you to have access to the Linux device to run your server. We also have a MySQL database in Amazon AWS. And the way we have it is you have your phone or your tablet or whatever, and let's say you want to create a new account. So you log in with Facebook, and then your phone contacts the server, and the server, we have API calls. Let's say you log in, so it passes your Facebook information from the phone to the server, and the server runs some PHP code, which calls the store procedure on the database, and the database returns output, whether new user, old user, and returns your database select row, and the server passes that back to the phone. And then through Ajax, the phone gets information, and depending on the content, displays or hides different parts of the data. And we use that same model throughout the game for the API calls, for the leaderboard, which we'll show you, and for saving games. It's the same kind of method. And the good thing about this is it's free for now. And it's very easy to set up. They make it very easy to put Apache on there and create a database. Is literally you give it a name and how big you want it, and it spits up a MySQL database in 5 minutes, and you can have direct access to it through a MySQL Workbench client, which is what we did. And also for the server, you can just log in with PuTTY, and you have direct access, and you have root access. You can install any software you need on there.
So now I'm going to go through the functionality of everything. So there's a physics engine on Phaser. There's 3 different ones you can choose. The main ones are Arcade and Pitot. The third one is called a Ninja physics engine, and that has to do with more tiled games. So if you just want different things going on in each section of your game, it's better for that. Arcade is better for single objects, and usually what people use are things called sprites. And what these things are is that you can pretty much tack more user functionality to those as opposed to group functionality and mindset. So we used P2 because that is better with rendering objects, different functionalities, and with groups because, as you can see, the asteroids on our page are a bunch of different images that pop up, and they have their own mindset. They're all doing the same functionality and bouncing around on the screen. So Facebook is a big thing that we did in terms of making a user account. You can log in and just do a new game, and that will just log you as a guest and give you some random guest ID. We kind of want to funnel people into using the Facebook login more, because this will provide your score updated on the leaderboard. This is how we're able to keep track in the database with a unique ID. We're able to take the stuff from the Facebook page and work with that, and then we'll be able to save your score from the game into our database and then pull it up for later when you want to just take a look at that score. Yeah, so once you're logged in, one of the functionalities that you can do is if right away, you're in the game, you're playing it, or you just pop in the game after you log in, you can press the pause button, which is in the top right hand of the screen, and what this will do is have a nice little menu display that will pop up. This is going to have you either continue, save your progress, which is very cool that we did. We're able to, whatever point you're at within the game, you're able to stop, press the pause button, and then whatever is happening at that point, you're able to save the game on the level and the score. So you can quit, completely log out of the game, shut it off, come back on later. You'll have the option as a logged in Facebook user to resume your game at the same level with the same score that you left it at. So other things that are on the main game page are your score, which is just a tally of the object of the game is that you're trying to destroy the asteroids on the screen. You're trying to avoid different planets, and I'll get into that. And you're also have the choice to try to destroy comets and stars, which will give you extra points. And then this also keeps track of the level that you are on, so you know what's going on. We have 10 levels as of now, so once you progress at the end of the time, you're able to move on and go to the next level. And then the time is very important because we have different functionalities with the time, because if you accidentally destroy or maybe purposely destroy a planet, it will take down your time. Different planets take down more times than others, and if you reach a time of 0, you lose the game, and you're supposed to try to destroy all the asteroids on the screen before the time runs out. And I believe you have to destroy all the comets. The star will just fall off the page, and the planets you don't have to destroy at all, and you're meant not to. So the asteroids is the main objects on the page. I have this working with the P2 physics, and I can make this do many different things in terms of have it bounce up and down on the screen. I can have it just float in the middle of the screen. I can have it static. I can put gravity on it, so it'll go up and down. But what we were saying is like real physics. So if you put a gravity on it, even a slight gravity, it's still going to want to triangulate to the bottom, at the center, because, what goes up must come down. So we just have velocity on these. So these are in an ever state of motion, and they do not stop moving, which is a lot better interaction on the screen in terms of, how the user is playing the game. And also you want to get these as you'll get a higher score. The more you get, it depends on which level you're on. You'll see how many different ones are on the screen. And you want to get these within the time limit. So planets are objects that you must avoid. Usually they are, with the physics, they're going different path routes than the asteroids. They're a completely separate object from the asteroids, and they're their own group. Each planet is their own group and acts like it, so I can have the planet 1 doing something different than I will planet 3. And also, this kind of gives a little bit of flavor to it in terms of how, if you click on one of these planets, like if you click on 2, you will just have points deducted. but if you click on 1, you're going to have a 5-second time deduction, which is very bad for you because, you know, you can lose a couple points, but if you lose that time and that time goes down to 0, then the game's over for you. Another thing is that we thought that was interesting that we were able to catch, which was good, is that we were getting negative time because we would have planet 1 appear and then the negative time would you know, go down to 0 and then, you know, we catch that. So, and then the comets, this just gives, you know, we're just trying to make these fast on the screen, and these gives more points to the player. And stars is that we have this randomly showing up on every 5 levels, and it just drops, it pops up on screen very quickly and drops down. So, and it will drop off screen as the other ones. There is a out of world bounds on them, and the star there is none. So we're going to show the demo now, just the quick thing of, you know, a little bit of, just want to log in and show the functionality.
Here's games on my phone. You click Cosmic Slayer, it opens up. Just load screen. So here's our main screen. You have new game, leaderboard, and login on Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. So I'm going to click login. Logs me in as my profile picture and my name at the top. And then if you click leaderboard, it kind of shows you who's in the leaderboard, and you should see some friendly faces. So it just shows you kind of the top 10 with their profile picture, first name, last initial, and the score. So I just
work harder.
So then if you go back, you just press new game. Here's our game screen. You have the score, level, time. You just press play. It just begin bouncing around, and if I click one, score score 10. And what Joe said, saving. If I press pause play, I can save the game. And it pops up on the bottom, game saved. And then
You want to quit and then resume?
it's so what it does is when you save the game, it takes you back to the level beforehand. So if you save on level 2, let's say middle of level 3 and you save, it keeps the score you started when you began level 3 and lets you to begin that again. You just quit, it takes you back to the menu. And so that's, and then we don't have time to show but all the extra levels, but there's 10 in the first object in the first level, and they just keep increasing as the levels go on and time gets less.
Progressively gets
A lot
extremely hard.
Anybody have any questions?